Hello, and welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show, brought to you by DJEventPlanner.com, www.DJEventPlanner.com. Check out our other sponsors down in the description of this video on YouTube. Hi, we're back, and we have kind of a ragtag group tonight, just like we did last time. Makes it interesting. We got to mix it up with the panel. Of course, we have Boston John.
Yep.
He's here with us, as always. Mr. Howie Darkstar is back with his best stage health on. And we have the Matt sandwich. We have Sheboygan Matt, who is a local guy here. And we also have Georgia Matt, which is what we kind of decided to call them last week. And off camera, who will probably chime in here and there because I just know this guy. We have Eric from New Hampshire.
Yes.
New Hampshire. I'm Eric from New Hampshire.
He ain't from the Hurry.
Not a big. What eggs? Not a big.
I forget about it. Must have counted heads.
What we do on a normal show, which what's the normal show, but what we do typically is a little something we like to call Boston John's Record Roundup at the top of the show, where we talk about records we're recommending to the audience. And, just for your listening pleasure, not necessarily for DJing, but maybe. So, John, do you have anything for us this week for the Record Roundup?
I do. We have talked about the band where this individual came from and mentioned some of their greatest hits, the four lads from Liverpool. But might I say that one of them has probably done a lot more in his career than...
Oh, that's a good one. Pikes of Peace.
This is Tug of War.
Tug of War. Right.
Yeah. Or we can go Ram. I got Ram here. That's handy.
Nice.
It's probably the most prolific of the crew. He was the bass player. Long, lengthy solo career. Tons and tons of hits. Solo with Wings. There's plenty that you can use. It's radio-friendly stuff. His stuff always kind of has a bouncy hook to it, and it's he's very good ballad writer. You might be able to use something like Maybe I'm Amazed from him.
Yes, that one I have done.
Yeah, definitely.
Sense of humor, still alive. God, kicking,
active,
out playing, active. I mean, he's not doing 3 hours.
84 years old.
84.
Or moly. No, he's not.
Yeah, I just saw a thing about, in my feed about, how many are still with us and gave their age. Tina Turner, on, and then Paul McCartney, 84.
Wow. Still plugging away. So the two tracks, I'll use Ram because this was the first solo record when he broke away. The split of the Beatles wasn't amicable, so to speak. It got to fighting about money and, licensing and this and that. So McCartney opens the record with a track that's called Too Many People. Too many people looking for that piece of cake, looking for that. And it was a direct shot at Lennon. And of course, Lennon retorted.
Wow, nice choice of words.
So they were kind of at each other. Yeah, like shots fired across the bow. Take that, Uncle Albert. The standout track on here is the Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey, which I think gave him a chance to take some creative license and not make everything sound like a Beatles song. And it's, I want the girl, I love the girl, hold the hands of the girl. I love you. We kind of took a little departure and actually started writing things from objectively.
Right.
But, as far as what McCartney's done, he's on the Thriller record with Girl Is Mine. He's got songs with Stevie Wonder, just amazing artists, all around talent. A national treasure, should be protected at all costs. So, McCartney's my entry.
You will.
Yeah, international. Wait, from across the pond. So that's mine for the week. That's McCartney. Loves it.
Cool.
Pick.
I'm a big Paul fan.
We need that.
I'm a huge Paul fan. He's a good guy. He's just, I like him as a person too.
Yeah.
And even as a young person watching that Get Back documentary, it's like, oh my gosh, this guy's a machine.
Yeah.
He's just a machine.
For extended viewing and extra credit, there is a special that James Corden, the Nighttime Talk Show, did with him. Singers are car, and their karaoke try, and then they went to this random hall and off Abbey Road and played a couple of tunes.
Saw that.
It was so good. They did 2 parts. It was almost the whole show.
It's like a whole homecoming. He went back to the house, back to the bathroom.
He went back
recording his music. As a teenager. I've been to that house, and everybody's cool. They're like, "Oh, hi, Paul."
Oh, yeah, you were. That's right. Were you there?
Yeah. I mean, the weird part about England when you go over there is like every house looks exactly alike. It's not like here where houses are different. The council, like I don't know what you would call the council. It's kind of like the city government, right? They build everything. Like nobody builds a house unless you're rich. Otherwise, the city like builds all these row houses and you just live in one of them.
Right.
So it's not like it looks any different than any other house. But yeah, I was there. I saw John Lennon's house where his aunt lived, and I saw George Harrison's house, and I saw a couple of places that Ringo lived in. One was slated for demo. I think they actually saved it. Really cool, beautiful turn of the century place that the streets were blocked off. We got to walk the streets there. It was really cool, but it's just very common, just cool little bitty places. I didn't go inside, of course, like he did, but I've been there to that house. So I got one here for you. Howie, do you have one?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead. You go. I'm sorry. I don't want to catch thunder. What do you got? No, what do you got? What you got?
Well, I went on again, of course, and instead of an album, I have a double CD because now I am, everybody has probably heard this story, but if you haven't, I got my start when I saw the Dark Side of the Moon Pink Floyd concert tour. And I said, this is what I want to do with my life. And I was just a teenager. And in 1995, Pink Floyd came out with this.
Pulse. Yeah.
95. Now, I didn't want to just buy the music. I mean, it's a great, great live concert thing. But for me, in the production area with the lighting, I just watched it the other day again. And it inspires me because if I can program 5 feet, I can program 500 feet.
Right.
It's just, to me, I can scale it up or down or in or out, whatever. And it was just inspiring to me. Besides, how much I enjoyed the music, it was the effects and the lighting, which is what I'm doing now, production. So that's my pick.
Right on.
Liking it. Those lighting tricks. I mean, when we first were watching that, probably in '95, it's like, wow, like we can't do half of this stuff. We have a power strip that we turn on and off to make the lights blink what we want, right? And now
I can do it. Yeah, and I can do it on the computer or the iPad now, and it's just I'm like, wow, this is cool.
About installation, like.
I looked at, I'd back it up, and then I'd go like, let me see if I can replicate this, in 5 feet in the living room. And then once I did, well, everybody knows the story. Then we were up doing the Olympics, John, in the freezing cold. And
off we go to the Great White North.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's my pick.
Good choice.
Well, here's something I didn't know until probably 20 years ago. And it kind of made sense. Sometimes you hear something and you really like it, but you don't know why you like it. Then you find out later that somebody was involved with it. And you're like, that's why I liked it. It's happened to me many times in my life. And it happened with this album right here. And I got my reading glasses because I don't have the track listing memorized. But this album right here, one album, fantastic. And almost a one and done as far as amazing. Why? Well, there's a reason for it. And that is the Sister Sledge We Are Family album.
Okay. Ooh, good.
So you guys know We Are Family, you play that, right? Or as it's requested, could you play We Are Family? Sure.
I like it when they do that because it's like, okay, they're going to sing along then.
Yeah, they know. I want to hear We Are Family.
Family. All right. See if I have that version.
Sure, I'll play it for you.
Can you play that song about We're Emily? I think you mean family, but okay.
So I got this album in '79. My family got it, and it was something that mom's cool. Mom got it, and it's really good. Like even the stuff that didn't hit is really good. And I'll read you some of the track listings and tracks that I think that are really good on it. So He's the Greatest Dancer is a really good song. And it might have gotten R&B airplay, radio airplay, but it's a fantastic song if you don't know it. Lost in Music. I love that track. It's a really good song. Thinking of You is hip. I like Thinking of You a lot. What else is on here that's really good? Of course, We Are Family. There are other songs on here, but those are the standouts. All right. And there's only 8 songs on the record. Right. They're all good though. Why are they good? You ask. Well, I finally found out why. It turns out that when Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards were doing Chic, their label, which was Atlantic, I believe, said, okay, you guys are huge, so we're going to have you produce a band. And they're like, okay, yeah, fine. Well, who we got to produce? Well, how about you produce the next Stones album? And Niall looks at him and is like, hey, look, I am not going to tell Keith Richards and Mick Jagger how to make a record. I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Forget it. Give me something else. So one of the head of the labels had kind of a pet project. He had this Sister Sledge act for a long time that never did anything, but he kept them on because he liked them. So Niall's like, okay, yeah, let's do that one. So they go into the studio with the girls, right? And pretty much told them to go sit over there and shut up while they make a record. This is a Chic record. And the girls get to sing parts on it here and there. In fact, the background singers on here are the Chic background singers.
Really?
This is the secret Chic record. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Every single bit of it. Every bit of it. Everybody playing on it, all the writing and the background singing is Chic. And they just brought the girls in once in a while to sing a bit. You know, that's all they did.
Like well, at least they didn't pull a Milli Vanilli or something on this.
They might as well have. It's a Chic record. That's why it's so good. That's why it's so good. Because they sang this on Bernard. Yeah. Just went in there and said, sit down and shut up. We're going to make a record. We'll call you when it's your turn.
That's so cool.
Hey, well, here you go. Stop. Shut up. Let the adults talk. Shut up. Sit over there. We'll bring you over when it's time to do something. And that's why you never heard anything else from Sister Sledge. That's why it was such a huge record. And then nothing. Because their follow-up, there was a follow-up, did nothing. Because Niall and Bernard weren't on it. So, and of course, they went on to produce many things. And Niall, specifically, David Bowie's Let's Dance, Madonna's Like a Virgin album, Duran Duran's, well, they did Reflex. He did Reflex, and I think he also did Notorious. Tons of stuff. I mean, there's a huge, long laundry list of things that Niall has produced. Everything from Sister Sledge to Daft Punk, Niall has produced. So, I'm an amazing guy. I love Niall. I named my cat after Nile Rodgers in the 90s. That's how much of a geek I am about Nile Rodgers. So, anyway, that's my pick. Sister Sledge, We Are Family album.
I like it.
Family. That's cool.
It's the Secret Chic album. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's what I got for you.
Cool.
So I was talking to Matt earlier today. We were back and forth on Messenger. I gave him a link to the thing I'm going to be doing next week, the audio and lighting workshop thing. And we got to talk, and Matt said, I got a confession. I feel like that my wedding sets are getting stale. I feel like that I'm kind of doing the same thing over and over again. And my reply to that was, well, yeah, but you can't really do much about that because it's kind of what the audience wants to hear. They want to hear the Cupid Shuffle every week. You can't tell them, no, you got to play it, right?
Right.
And then Matt said, well, the problem is I got repeat customers. And I don't want to do the same show every time they see me. That's valid, right? Because we do talk about the thing where it's like, okay, yeah, sure. We are doing kind of the same thing all the time. We are all playing the same songs because it's what people want to hear. It's not because we don't have a palette to go further. It's just what they want. But then I got to thinking, it would be interesting to do a show where we bring up some of these songs that we play all the time and see if collectively as a group we can come up with a really good valid alternative. Something familiar that we don't play all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this will be fun.
I like it. I like it.
This will be fun.
Yeah,
we're all going to pick songs because we all do the same repetitive songs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the first one. I'll do the first one just so you kind of get a feel for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A song that I play a lot, it just works. And it's an 80s song. It's a rock song. It's very familiar. Is Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I Love Rock and Roll.
Right.
Okay.
It's a go-to. Sure. I don't know if you guys play it or not. It works.
Mm-hmm.
It works very well. But what would be an alternative? Every time that you reach for Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I Love Rock and Roll, what else could you play that is kind of in the same era, is danceable, is rocky, people know, and maybe they haven't heard it in a long time. What would be an alternative for that?
Summer of '69, Bryan Adams.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got? Anybody else?
Well, I have a cover version. Not a cover version, a remix.
Okay.
Sure. And it's so it's got a really updated redrum.
Like a redrum, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I was go ahead, John.
Oh yeah, I had one. Because it's a cover from a 50s tune.
Is it
50s, 60s, the band that had it. It's kind of pop punk with the rock. So as a substitute, you could use like One Way or Another from Blondie.
That's literally what I was going to say.
It's got the soul drive. It's got kind of the same era, and it's
exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, people know it.
Perfect.
And people will know it and sing it. And and kind of vibe off it. You know what I mean? It's an attitude song. And that's
George and Matt. You got anything for us?
So a couple that came to mind are both Joan Jett songs as well, and one of them is "I Hate Myself for Loving You."
Yeah,
other
great wedding song.
And the other isn't really a love song at all. It's called "Bad Reputation."
Yeah,
I know it's used in a lot of commercials, and there's also you're familiar with Ronda Rousey, the UFC fighter turned WWE wrestler. She uses that a lot as well. So. It gets played enough in the mainstream, too, that people might realize they know it once they hear it.
There were two songs off of that record that got massive traction. And I know that everybody younger than me just goes to I Love Rock and Roll. There was another song that got mega traction off that album. Does anybody remember what it was?
Not Crimson and Clover. Yeah.
Yes, Crimson and Clover.
Really?
It was.
Yeah. That was also a cover.
Huge. Yep.
That was the one that everybody, like, when you cranked up in your car, you didn't crank up I Love Rock and Roll, you cranked up Crimson and Clover. That was blasted out of every cool car going down the boulevard back in the day.
Yeah.
That was the jam.
Wow. That was Tommy James the first time around.
Yeah. They rocked up the beast.
Yeah, it was kind of psychedelic the first time around, and she made it a rocker. So
made it her own. That's the song off that record that I don't know where you'd put it in the evening, but that's the song off of that record that is worth knowing. It's really good.
Yeah.
I was thinking an alternative for that because I'm thinking rock around the same era. You never hear it. Very danceable. It was very big. Jay Giles Band Centerfold.
Yeah.
When was the last time anybody heard that song?
I use that when we do the photographer when they want to take a picture at every single table.
Oh yeah.
Frequently.
Great idea.
Frequently use that song.
See if you can get it done before the song runs out, and that way it keeps it moving along the line.
Oh, right.
See, and as soon as, first of all, you grabbed the one that I was thinking of, John.
No, sorry. Sorry.
sorry. But no, like as soon as I heard what you guys were saying, I'm like, you know what? I could deviate a little bit and go with Heart. Mm-hmm. And you can either do a massive sing along, because I like sing alongs. You could do Alone, which everybody will scream at the top of their lungs. Oh, just 100%. Or, they've got like Crazy on You, which isn't as dancey. Barracuda is probably the one that they would know the most, I would say.
Right.
Probably. That would be
it would be a short. It would be a short. It wouldn't. You wouldn't play the whole thing. You'd play a snippet of it, get in and get out.
It's not a very long song. Memory serves.
I think it's like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that was the error when for radio play 3 minutes. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, 3 minutes is a long time.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Clarity, man.
What are you bragging? Are you bragging?
Oh, Eric's done before the cigarette is.
So while we're here, can anybody else think of like a song that I'm sure we all can, that we play repetitively that we'd like to find a viable alternative to?
I have one.
What?
Dancing Queen. We play that all the time.
I know, but there's a reason for it.
I know. Dance question, but he did ask for one that we play all the time. So
this is true. He did.
Did you get him out there with Dancing Queen and then like mix into something else?
Take a chance, like almost get you the same energy.
And Gimme Gimme had a resurgence.
Right.
With the Madonna release, Madonna had
like it. Recent.
Yeah, no, it's recent because I did it at a
very recent.
Big request at a wedding last fall.
I had a high school request it. Like a bunch of kids wanted to hear it. It's got to be a TikTok thing or something.
Yeah.
But as you said,
yeah, dude. I had that too. And those are both really good alternatives.
There's nothing with those harmonies like ABBA. It's hard to substitute for ABBA. I mean, they have a sound. It's that's the thing is, people want to hear that.
Brian, I know you're not a musical guy. As far as musicals, there is a musical called Mamma Mia. It's a stage musical, so it's different.
Never heard of it.
I'm aware of it. Yes,
literally all ABBA, and it crushes. And the thing is that high schools have a version that they can do. So a lot of high schools actually do that show. So that's how a lot of them are being introduced to the show too.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my 25-year-old has been an ABBA fan since she could talk. She's weird. She loves ABBA, and she loves Bee Gees and Monkeys. I don't know where that came from, but yeah,
that is kind of odd.
There's a generation out there who really digs this stuff. I just read
it's coming back though.
I just read something the other day where I don't know. They were saying something like your Gen Zer is going to become a massive ABBA fan and is going to try to figure out how you, the old person parrot, knows these songs. I don't know what happened recently, but something happened where it's like, okay, ABBA's coming strong. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So yeah, keep your eye on ABBA, and
it's cool. The
ABBA alternatives to Dancing Queen are a really good idea to start thinking about now. Yeah. And there's a lot of good ABBA songs.
Aren't they redoing or remastering some of their stuff, but they're not going to be on camera for
Are they?
Yeah.
They're doing they did like a virtual reality show or something.
Right. Some kind of
in England where they were there, but there was like holograms of them performing.
Right.
Like
in their youth. They didn't want to show their age, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was huge over in England. It was a big deal. And it was sold out for many, many nights. In fact, no one to speak out of turn on this, but it seems to me like they specifically built a venue for this over in England.
Really?
ABBA, yeah. I will look it up after the show. Maybe I'm talking out of school here, but it seems to me like they built a venue specifically for this or this type of performance. And the ABBA was just a recurring thing that was sold out. It was like, I don't know. It was right after the whole COVID thing or something like that. They were doing this. I don't remember. But it was a big deal for a minute. Over
the hologram thing is cool. Like I remember the very first one I saw was when Tupac. I think it was at Coachella. I think it was Coachella.
Yeah.
That they had Tupac on stage, and I was going, "What?
Yeah,
he's living on an island. He's back."
I thought that was going to be a thing, but Tupac's the only one
that never took off. I think they did it with two people. I think they did one other person.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Right. Exactly.
That was the first, I think.
Yeah.
Was it the first one?
I think so.
It might have been the first one, yeah.
No, I thought one take off. It just kind of was like a chocolate fountain all of a sudden.
I miss those.
What's going around on the hologram?
I don't. I
miss those.
No.
Okay, this drumstick has been getting cold for like 3 hours. How can I dress it up? Chocolate fun, baby.
Yeah.
I think it's so complicated to do it though, too, and to set up all the different cameras you need. But
sure,
I imagine, the way AI is getting, I'm sure there'll be some sort of reversioning of it soon.
So I was trying to understand it. I never looked into it, but did they just use like a fine mist in like a thing? Is that what they were projecting on?
Probably like haze, right?
Got to have atmosphere for that.
They had an atmosphere, but they projected from 3 different points of view.
Right.
That it's kind of like what Pink Floyd did with lasers, where they had mirrors that they would bounce them off of and so forth. They had to line up those 3 projectors in that atmosphere.
So Brian was talking about Pink Floyd Pulse, and I was like immediately snapped into the Division Bell, because that tour came through Alpine Valley, and that's one of the first shows I ever went to.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that too. Yeah.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
I had a t-shirt somewhere upstairs.
Alpine Valley is kind of people know it because that's where Stevie Ray Vaughan died, but it's a big amphitheater. It's kind of near my mom. That's where I take the Mustang on Saturday nights for that big talls Paul Bunyan guy is. That's where Alpine Valley is. Yeah, it's
not that in his hand. And sticking the other one. Yeah,
it's like it's as infamous in the music world as like Red Rocks and other amphitheaters like that. Yeah, it's
that's what I was thinking about when you said.
I've seen a lot of shows there. A lot of shows. First show I saw there was Scorpions in '84. I saw George Michael there in '88. I've seen Sammy Hagar and Van Halen there. I've seen all kinds of stuff. I think I don't see there more than I can.
It's a lot of Dave Matthews Band, and then like festivals, like Ozfest was always on there.
Yes, it's just huge
and hot, always hot.
Yeah,
I don't like being out sweaty.
When I went to go see, and this I'll never forget. This is my very first big concert experience was Scorpions, and they had 2 openers. The first opener was a local band called Mama's Boys, and they were almost a Slade / Quiet Riot tribute band.
Oh my God.
And
I haven't heard that name in a while.
And the second act was a band that had just came out called Bon Jovi.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were an opener.
Yeah.
They were an opener, and they had just released the single Runaway.
Oh, that's
so cool. And they were
so cool.
They were on stage playing, and because Bon Jovi is a little light compared to Scorpions. I mean, could we all agree on that?
Yeah.
The crowd heard a rock, right? Because they just heard a Slade tribute band, and now they're they got Bon Jovi up there, and then they kind of they got synthesizers going crazy. They're ready for "Rock You Like a Hurricane" because that was the big song. So Alpine Valley is assigned seating, right, way up into the hill, and then beyond that, it's general seating, which is grass.
You're sitting on the grass, yeah. You're sitting on a lawn.
They had just sodded it, and they got little nuts in the lawn seats, and a sod fight kicked in.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and it was a mess. Yeah. There was dirt flying everywhere. Oh my God. Oh, pass it onto the stage. It was an absolute riot with sod getting thrown around. And somebody had to come out on stage and interrupt and said, "Hey, now Scorpions are nature lovers. You got to stop that if you want them to come on out. Now let them finish their set, guys." And people were just losing their minds. But wow, that's cool. That's an old school story for you from the Wayback Machine.
I love it. That's
wow. Well, you mentioned Bon Jovi. Can we think of a song that they always ask us to play?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, "Living on a Prayer."
Living on a Prayer.
Always.
They all want to sing along to it.
I think there are a lot of interesting substitutes for that era of rock.
Yes.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head, Poison has things you can play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unskinny Bop is one that probably is played less than Talk Dirty to me.
Right.
And what else is there?
Here for a Good Time is a good one from Poison too.
I'm gonna go with how about Hooked on a Feeling, Blue Suede.
That's a good song to play, but I don't know if I'd substitute that for an 80s. Like
I wouldn't substitute that, but that goes back into our conversation about Guardians of the Galaxy, actually.
Yeah.
It's like, you can throw in like Pour Some Sugar as a cover for that. If you
not one day within the set, that's like the one you got put on with.
Yeah, it's either before or right after.
Yeah,
right there. So Aldo Nova Fantasy.
There you go. Aldo Nova Fantasy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a rocker. But yeah, you know, there was that whole, I don't know, it's almost like the whole kind of pseudo metal rock thing became very mainstream with the hair bands.
Right.
Was in there, Def Leppard was in there, Poison was in there, Warrant was
You could pull Motley Crue. You could pull Eddie. You could pull Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yes. Now, if Jay was here, he would go on for a 30-minute rant on this because this was his wheelhouse.
Thanks, guys, for coming. Have a great
Not
out of time.
20 years before that, you had the New York Dolls.
Or 10 years before that, anyway. Yeah, it was only 10 years. It was 70, like figure 7, yeah, well, a little more.
Was that early 80s?
Pardon?
No, New York Dolls? No, they were.
Dolls were early to mid 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Bon Jovi was like early mid 80s.
Yeah, with the real high hair and heels. I mean, gosh.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I haven't done a Kiss song at an event for a long time.
Oh, really?
Just sitting here thinking about it. No, I haven't done Lick It Up or Rock.
I want to rock it. Yeah, Rock and Roll All Night has been. That's a good one. If they're really craving that era,
if they're a rock
crowd,
right?
Well, it's a late night song for When I was doing it, it was always a late. You know, we got 15 minutes left. You know, all right, I want to rock. Oh, well,
sure.
Well, do that the after party because I gotta go.
And play the live one.
Well, but you got to get the hell out of here.
I got to play the live one. The live one's better fidelity.
You live where they have after parties. You go until midnight or later, just as the normal set. We got those 4-hour dances.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like that here too.
Wait a minute. Wait,
is it like that?
I thought you were from Milwaukee as well, or Wisconsin.
I'm an hour north.
Brian said that the weddings up there are much longer, and you're saying 4 hours?
No,
well,
4 hours of dancing straight.
Oh, of just dance? Oh my God!
Yeah, 8 to midnight's the dance set.
Yeah.
So instead of breaking it up by like courses, even if it's a plated course, the expectation is they're going to do all dinner and then dance for 4 hours.
You guys are crazy out there. That's a
solidarity.
Not like that here.
It's what it is, man. Jay and I were butting heads on some songs, you know, and I'm trying to figure out what's with this guy. Well, when he take a chance on tracks, come to find out the guys only do like an hour and 20 minutes of dance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to play all bangers at that point. Of course you do. I have to fill 4 freaking hours.
You got to play 7 songs. That's all he's going to play.
So there's 20. There's a lot of like, okay, I see they're getting a little fatigued. Like even just physically, I'm going to throw something on that I want them to go to the bar, or I'll tell them to go to the bar. You know, throw on shots. It's like, okay, go tip your bartender and clear the floor for a second.
Jay was in here a couple. Yeah,
they won't last.
He was in here a couple of weeks ago, and he was, you know, really arguing for the verse chorus out, verse chorus out, verse chorus out, mega mix style of weddings. And he said he's doing them, and people really appreciate them. And I'm thinking to myself, I have to fill time.
Right.
You know, if I cut my songs. I put a third off of my songs. Oh my gosh, no, that's a long time to do in out. No, I'm not doing.
And you're right though. He really only does like hour and a half, 2 at the most.
Right. So if he cuts a song short, he gets more music in that hour and a half.
Right.
I do longer for elementary schools.
That's where he's at that vineyard, and they're like, no, you're only here 5 hours. That's it.
No noise after 10. Wrap it up.
No noise after 10.
And it's 30. All right, let's start dancing.
That's including ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Different. And that's just his specific area. He's in a tourist destination area, and they have sound ordinances. They got to be out by 10. Oh my God.
Around here, people get mad at you if you don't play the whole, or at least if you don't get those like main set. Like if you're doing Wannabe, for instance, you could probably skip that second verse. Because, you know, they don't care about what you think about that now. You know how I feel. But if you skip that rap, they will berate you. And you wouldn't, and it's like that with other songs that you wouldn't think, like, but we were talking about like Bon Jovi. If you skip any part of that song, they know every single moment.
It's a sing along.
It is. You can't chop arbitrary parts out of a single one. Yeah, it's all got to be there. Well, except the verse.
I think it's ingrained. I think it's just because they know, like, we have 4 hours of dancing.
Yeah.
Don't freaking cut our song.
Yeah. There are some people who are like, well, TikTok, they have short attention spans. Well, guess what? I ain't TikTok. And we got 4 hours to fill, so you're going to listen to the whole damn song.
And I think
don't do that either.
Most of the guests are not TikTok people anyway. I mean,
no, and most people are.
They're probably 40 and up, at least.
Yeah.
So they want to hear their music. I'd have to be.
I wouldn't. Yeah. No, absolutely. But I'm not here to tell anybody how to be an artist. That's number one I want to do.
Right.
But when someone jumps on my ish for not doing the in out, I'm going to defend it.
So we were talking about the dance. Like, I think one of you guys said Cupid Shuffle or whatever. Have you ever had anybody request the extended version of the wobble?
No, not specifically.
It's like 5 or 7 minutes long.
Wow.
I don't even know how I'll finish the wobble.
Dude, I had a wedding where they not only wanted the wobble, they did it 3 times because they didn't hear the extended version, and then the last one, like, no, play the whole thing and then loop it back. I should have just gone outside for 20 minutes.
Nice.
That's when
you guys want to just
doing this or not mix 3 times.
Is there a way to make a 128 bar loop? I'll be back later.
Just highlight the whole song and repeat.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's a weird place because sometimes when I'm outside of the city limits, and the further outside of the city limits, the weirder it gets. I'll put songs on like The Wobble, and they look at me like, "What's this? Really? How did The Wobble not get there yet?"
It's the country. It's the country crowd that asks for that the most,
right?
I think there are people like on other planets who have heard this song by now, light years away. It's traveled that far by now.
It's at least being that far. It's light years traveled away, and it did make it to one city,
right? Yeah,
Wisconsin.
It didn't make it one city, 60 miles away from Milwaukee County. They don't know it.
Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah, it's weird here.
You found the weird pocket because even
like the whole state is
farm weddings. It is weird, but I'm proud of it. I like our state. We're proudly weird.
I like it because it's affordable.
Sometimes it's the crowd too. I mean, I've got Cupid Shuffle, and I've had groups that just didn't know it, and I'm just, like verse, chorus, and kind of like they're not getting out there doing what they're supposed to do. They're not to the lefting. I'm going. Can I get out of this?
Get your butt away from the booth and go teach them. Go teach them.
I've told this story before, and I'll tell it again. I did an event with our dearly departed friend Jimmy Spin, and he was so good that he had them going to the left, to the left, to the left. He had it on loop until they were all starting to hit the wall and bunch up, and we're back behind the booth laughing so hard, and then we got the crowd laughing. They knew that Jimmy had punked them, and they started cheering, and he let the song go, and it was a golden moment, they even mentioned it to me, and they said, that DJ was really clever. I said, yeah, that's right, buddy Jimmy. Yeah.
Howie, I might use it this weekend.
Yeah, try it. Try to get it between the wall. Yeah.
I have a crumb, and I'll just loop it.
Cut off. They're begging this punch, man.
Oh, that'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. It was. Oh my gosh. They complimented us after. They said, you guys really punked us. That one now was a lot of fun.
Well, speaking of punks, what's your favorite fake out? Where you're in a song and you're about to come up to the apex moment of the song, and right then you change it on them. To something very, very wildly different.
Oh, I'm going to have to take a pass on this. John would be a good guy for that.
I've got some remixes that sound like they're going to be one thing, and all of a sudden Rick Astley starts singing "Never Gonna Give You Up." I guess that's the ultimate punk. If you get rickrolled,
there it is.
Right? It's got to be. It sounds like it's that's built. I like, this is going to definitely be Dua Lipa, and then it's like, there's no stranger too. I'm like, no, that's, and then it talks to my mind, and they realize it's a different beat. And they're like,
Did you ever see the video? There was I don't know who the DJ is, so credit to whoever it is. but he's playing Turn Down for What?
Stop it, dude.
And he's going, and all of a sudden, this guy is just jamming. He's totally vibing, and then bam, and he switches into Dancing Queen. And the guy's just standing there like,
yeah. Yeah, he did. He turned and looked at the beach. I saw that video. Yeah.
Mean mugging that beach.
Yeah, that's a funny clip. Yeah.
It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying.
One of my favorites to do that with is let me clear my throat. And he goes, freeze! And you slam into anything.
Everybody clap your hands.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm down to use that. That's a great transition. Thanks, Eric.
I was doing, I think, Jump Around. There's a little scratch bit at the end where it goes into the last little bars.
Yeah.
Scratch bit. That's where I'd throw in cool, let me clear my throat. Right when he just throw a cold in. And it worked. Yeah. I do them. I guess I don't do them consciously anymore. I just kind of do them because I do a lot of slam mixing on that kind of stuff. There's no really good way to get from here to there. So let's just shove it in there. So
yeah.
Shove it in there on the one somewhere. And yeah, it's fun.
I had the one a couple of years ago where the bride to be, or the bride at that time, had requested that I do the fake out to the audience during her dance with her father. And of course, she's not told any of the wedding party or anything. So we're playing this slow country song, I Loved Her First. And then we go into it, and then we're supposed to have my equipment's messing up. So I'm sending her all of these songs looping and getting garbled in there. And then it goes into Loaded by T-Pain and Flo Rida. And the looks that it's like, please let some people in on it the next time I have to do it.
Yeah. I wasn't on me. Yeah.
Matt, you should have been on the mic and been like, oh, I'm sorry, this has never happened before. And then all this, and then they start twerking on the dance floor.
Anytime I can transition out of country, it's a good day.
Oh, I'm a country fan. I love it.
Thank you.
Nobody's perfect.
I love it. Hey, this is a true statement. Ask my wife.
Yeah, I don't want to hear my theory on that. Country.
So I like the prompt that you were running with earlier, Brian, about all of a sudden, and for me this has actually happened. So we're talking about instead of playing this song, what would you play? But the thing is I've had a track fail, where you try to load it and the track says error.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. This is actually real life. You can use that. I like this prompt. Anybody else have any other ones?
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd hit a couple more.
I got you guys want one? I'll give you one because this is when we all play Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. Oh. Probably the highest play count of anything I've got in my library, and are
you serious?
A long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird one because
it's declining for me.
It's my
they all can run it. So.
I think everything. If you're just looking for them that kind of sounds like Uptown Funk, there's a lot of stuff out there. But the thing with Uptown Funk is it's so damn familiar. The kids know,
right?
The old people know it. But I think you could probably, if you just want to play something like that. And not specifically that song, there's so many things you can go to. You can go to something by the time. You can go Jungle Love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Morris Day all day.
You love it. Great. It's like Gap Band. Let's get that.
Rick James. Are you kidding me? And all kinds of Rick James stuff.
And you could stay modern. So you can hit up to Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop Feeling. In fact, a lot of times I'll transition out of those things. I'm I'm going to get the kids set out of the way.
Yeah.
That'll work. But I mean, that whole anything from the Trolls movie you can basically use because it's all that for the funky music, White Boy.
Isn't it the Trolls singing it in the movie? If I remember right.
What was that?
The Trolls movie. It's not the actual song. It's the Trolls singing it, isn't it?
Yeah. They do covers of everything. But
right.
That's where it's crazy because a lot of young kids now know music like September, not because of Earth, Wind, and Fire, but because of the fact that they used it in the movie. And there's writing credits too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can use
that movie.
You could use We Are Family. Yeah, and I tell them this is cheap, you know.
Well played, sir. Well played, sir. Anything with that like good disco beat, because the cool thing is like, do you guys ever do mic stuff where if you're making a transition or if you're doing a genre switch, you just give them a little blip? Like sometimes I'll say that, you know, listen carefully because this beat was actually used in this next track too, and you probably recognize it. So like Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake are sampling from the 60s.
Sometimes I just do it. I can't remember what the hell it is. There's something new. It's a Taylor Swift song. The new Taylor Swift song.
Like Antihero?
Yes, Antihero. Do you know what that loop is?
Right.
I listened to it. I can't stand that song.
It's Antihero. Well, people like it, and you can play it actually. And they're like, "What's the loop?" And everybody is like stumped. And they're like, I'm going to play it. I've done this in the Safe House because I can kind of do whatever I want there.
Like, yeah, you got free reign.
It's better. They're like, I don't know. I was like, no, it's better. I promise you it's a better song. It's Prince's Kiss.
Is it really? That's a good pick.
It's Prince's Kiss. Yeah. It's slowed down and it's like got this, I don't know, like, 192 kilobyte filter on it or something. It's goofy, but it's Prince's Kiss is all it is.
That's nothing cool. I'd rather hear Kiss.
No,
I play Kiss and I get a better response. Yeah.
No, now that you mentioned it, I can hear it in my head. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Kiss groove from Prince. That's all it is.
Yeah. I might do a mashup of that just for fun. Because I got a problem this weekend, and they're gonna want that damn song. I've already seen it. Oops, sorry.
They play around with it, yeah.
I've got a couple requests from them already, and I'm like, it's all right. Antihero's already on there.
Prince's Kiss is the sample
for my own benefit. I'm just gonna.
Here's a song I like to exchange. Every time I reach for it, it works. It backs the floor. But again, it's like every damn event. Footloose, Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
What would you change up with that? That works every time. Yeah.
The weird part about Footloose, before anybody responds, that is actually, I consider, a group active song.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Because it's a sing along and there's a dance to it.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a tough one to replace. But
it is.
Yeah, what would you use to replace Footloose?
Just like I was thinking.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah. I was thinking Uptown Funk was hard to replace too, but
right. No, I'm with you, Eric, on that. I'm actually very much with you on that. It's a tough one to replace because of what it is and why it is.
And the energy, right? Because
I would do Cotton Eye Joe.
You could do that.
I would do R.O.C.K. in the USA by John Cougar.
That's a good one.
Same.
That's a whole vibe.
Same pocket.
It's a whole vibe. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I'd have to think about
Maniac, but I can't think of who sings
Michael Stambello.
Yeah, there you go.
Maniac.
Yeah. And from Flashdance.
I'm going to go with Good Lovin'. I'll go way back. Good Lovin'.
Okay.
Young Rascals.
Good Love.
It's still that upbeat flavor.
Great song.
A unique beat to it. I mean, it's almost Go-Go's We Got the Beat when you think about it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
From a drummer's point of view, it's kind of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of is actually.
Yeah.
Which is kind of Mickey, Tony Basil too. So
yeah.
I'll make it the same beat. Get in there with that.
But again, those are kind of tried and true. I was trying to think of something a little more different. I don't know.
Don't judge me. I've tried Ringo Starr, You're 16 a few times, and that worked well.
Did it really?
Really?
It really went over well. Yeah, You're 16.
Wow.
Ringo Starr. Yeah.
It's on some collections that I have.
Along with it. They all sang it. And yeah, it was great.
Nice.
The only place I've ever played that was at a Sweet 16 party.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Great beat.
Yeah.
Great beat.
Yeah.
And everybody knows all the words.
We don't get a lot of Sweet 16s out here. It's not a big thing.
We get the quinceañeras here.
A lot of
I do anyway, because I'm
a lot of kids.
Yeah, I'm kind of Puerto Rican now, so they, I can get those. But
you're native.
The 16, not so much, but I am now. Yeah, but yeah, T. O'Brien does those. Okay, so I ended up doing them. But yeah, it's sweet. The Keen Space, which is a whole nother can of worms. It's like a wedding, but usually sometimes a little more drama involved in organizing them.
But it's a really big, it's a big culmination moment. Yeah. What's the progression of Footloose? It's just a 2-chord song, isn't it?
Well, it's the weirdo beat that he puts in there. I think this is yeah. It's George Michael's Faith, but not.
I was trying to think of what I was trying to think. But honestly, Faith would work.
Yeah. And back in the old days, that was a monster song. Yeah.
Lori said, "I'm All Right" from Kenny Loggins would be a great swap.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. I feel like that I have the best luck as a mobile DJ with songs that have a consistent beat all the way through. Usually, if there's a pause or it changes up or something, I'm not as successful with them. Even songs like Daft Punk One More Time, when it goes into the small little breakdown thing, I can lose people. I mostly started after that.
I jump it. I'll just cue as it's coming back in. And
I use it as a mic moment and jump in with MC stuff and just kind of.
You can, sure.
But not everybody's.
That's one good thing about.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's one good thing about. Sorry about that, Matt. That's one good thing about stems these days too. Well, I mean, I guess over the past couple of years, but just being able to kind of just take those vocals away even, and then keep that beat and just really talk over it too, and then come back in, when you're ready. A little bit of that radio DJing to our jobs now, I think.
Well, the cool thing with stems too is on those empty parts, that's a perfect place to transition. You can throw an acapella in.
My cat is all let me broadcast today.
Oh, bring the cat in, that's fine.
Yeah.
The viewings will go up if we throw a cat on the stream.
That's it. Yeah. We appeal to the market.
I love cats.
It's all product placement here now. Show the cat guy.
At least my Sarah will go off on cat. Yeah. Scratching the crap out of my chair. I don't know why.
Old kitty.
He got his moment.
Yeah, don't be surprised, Brian. You're going to have emails for catnet sponsorships now.
Oh, there you go. Something for your cat. Yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
I need mittens for that thing. It'll stop scratching my chair. Mark. I don't give him attention. He just completely shreds this chair. Which, there's no point in getting a new one because he'll just shred that one too.
Just tie a little boxing gloves to him and he's just there, just doing this. I'd pay to see that. I'd Venmo you.
Well, interesting show tonight.
Yeah, it was good.
Interesting. I probably wasn't awake enough to referee it quite like I should have. I just kind of let it go, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's it. Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's good. I was thinking about doing another show, but I think I'm probably too tired to do it as well. So we'll just do a late night show next week because I'm going to be.
That was a good prompt.
Classes. Next week.
Yeah. So are you going to be told how many people are registered?
I can find out. I mean, I know the person who's running the show over there, and I have no idea how that's going to go. And by the way, there's no need to even talk about it here because this show's going to go up in a month and a half. Well, after I'm
he's all the vacation. Yeah.
Oh wait, did you talk about how it went?
Pardon the chat. Someone threw a link in the chat that has a Taylor Swift Prince remix.
Oh yeah, that was Brian's cat sending it from his iPad.
Very good.
I swear to God, I literally put a note on my computer that says I'm gonna work on that transition and just see how it sounds.
Yeah, somebody apparently has done it on YouTube already, but I'm sure you can still have fun with it. Yeah, that's why I heard it right away, and I'm like, okay, and yeah, I'm at Safe House.
I mean, it's all that stuff. Like they're gonna want this weekend. I know they're gonna want Bloody Mary from Lady Gaga.
Really? Why?
Because it was even though it was Gugu Ma
because TikTok
Wednesday. Yeah, they used in the commercials for Wednesday. They used Lady Gaga instead.
Oh, I knew they did it on TikTok,
and they probably did it there too. But yeah, that's what everybody knows. So they asked for the Wednesday song. It's like, oh, right. So I had an event where I was like, oh, you want Wednesday? I got you. Goo Goo Ma. Let's go. Boom. Creeps.
Yeah.
And they were like, what?
Yeah.
you didn't watch the actual show.
So which one do you want? I hate that. Yeah. Play a song by this person. What song do anything is good.
What song?
No, it's not. I need specifics.
One song that goes like this. Like what? Do.
And no offense to you, Matt, Sheboygan Matt. No offense at all. But if someone says, play a good country song, dude, I got nothing.
I got art in
it. I can and that I'm not saying that to be mean. I don't know what a good country song is.
I'm gonna send you like 20 songs.
Well, I have them, but if you just come to me and say, play a good Luke Bryan or Luke Combs or Luke whoever, Luke Skywalker,
I'll use a list of songs.
They all suck, man. I don't know which one you want. Pick a shitty duck and I'll play it because they're all terrible.
So there's a DJ who lives.
We're gonna get letters, right, John?
Country music lover at DJandTV.com.
Mind playing it. I just don't ask me to play a good one because there's no such thing as a good one. If it was good, it would be country. It'd be something else.
There's a cool thing is like the beats are so close now between country and hip hop because they're blurring the lines.
Yeah.
So there's a DJ up in Green Bay, which is about 2 hours north of Bryan. His name is Alton, and he did an awesome Luke Bryan Nelly mashup, and they're freaking identical. Same chord progression, same everything. And it blew up on TikTok because it's freaking perfect.
Nelly is all over the
Florida Georgia Line and Hairlyn. Yeah.
Got a couple of them, I think.
But as far as like country songs, I'm going to give you a list of songs that you can use.
I can do a country set. Don't take that the wrong way. If someone says play country, I can play a country set. But if I've played my country set, the songs that I know are good, that they like, and then they come up and they ask for the latest Elmer Dinkley song, and or I don't know, whoever, just play a good one. It's like there's no such thing as a good Elmer Dinkley song, guys. Be specific. What crappy one do you want? And I'll play it. Oh yeah, this is with Elmer Dinkley. I'm not that dude. I didn't marry my cousin, nor am I in love with her. I didn't. My truck isn't broke down. I'm not your guy.
Oh, that's so
talk to somebody from the sticks.
Long as this works in Safe House,
right?
Which maybe it does in this underground.
It's a spy shack. It probably doesn't.
The bomb shelter, but it. All right, we should have stuck in a fork. This is 5 minutes ago when I said
we got the fork.
Dude, happens when I go long. It gets all bad.
I made no apologies.
Well, I do have homework for everybody. I do have some homework as far as the alternative to a popular wedding song, and that is to think of an alternative to Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Because that's pretty much a staple for every...
No.
Yeah, those are...
We're not getting rid of...
No substitutions allowed.
No. If that's on the do not playlist, I'm not doing your wedding. Because I listened to that song on the way home. I love that song.
I haven't played that song in 6 months.
Oh my God.
What?
That is don't need it. Floor fillers.
Yeah, I love that song.
I don't need it. It's nice, but I don't need it.
Viewers, put your selections in the comments. Write in what you would substitute for Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I Want to Dance with Somebody, and we'll see. We'll have a good laugh in a week or two.
Brian's filling that spot now with good country songs. So don't
got some right in there, like wow.
Well, we are stupid,
I feel like Eric's gonna pop in and be like, yeah, you don't realize it, but I love family tradition. And you never even call me by my name.
No,
these are Eric's jams.
Family tradition. Family. That's right.
I'm gonna have non-Molly. It's the same kind of thing.
All right, say goodbye, kids.
Bye.